Hello and welcome back to art class. Today we are going to continue on with our comic strip / storyboard project. Remember last week we did our practice sheet where you had your 8 different positions for a person to be in, and many of you did add items just so you could kind of figure out what they're doing. Like here I added a chair just so you knew they were sitting down. Here I got a ball of some kind going to hit the person as they're running. Could be like a soccer ball. Today, you might want to have that handy off to the side. You are going to need a few materials. You're going to need a ruler would probably be handy, an eraser, a pencil, and a piece of paper. You may want a second piece of paper depending on how long your storyboard is. You can just do the front and back. You're also going to need to decide how do you want your storyboard / comic strip to be. With a storyboard, you don't have to have words, so it could be the images in sequence of what's happening. So this is the first step, this is the second step, this is the third step, this is the fourth step, this is what's happening. Hey, in a comic strip, often we do have words. So if you have text that you want to write in word bubbles, you're going to need to plan for that as well. Just to kind of give you a heads up here, if you go online, you can easily find comic strips. GoComics.com has a ton of comic strips from newspapers. One of my favorite artists and comic strip writers, Bill Watterson, does Calvin and Hobbes. He no longer makes this comic, but you can still find the books and the comic strips online. A couple things I want to bring up here is, since we have this on here, you can see that some comics, if it was a Sunday edition paper, it would be a really big, take up a lot of space. So this whole paper is one comic from start to finish. Here, on this one, they don't actually go together. These 4 are part of one comic that you would see during the day, like a Monday or a Tuesday. Then these would be the next day. This would be like Tuesday or Wednesday. And then this would be like Thursday or Friday. How detailed the comic is very relative to the artist. Some people really want a plain background. Some want a very detailed picture. It kind of depends on what is going on. Now, in my book here, all the pages are black and white. But in real life, if it was on a newspaper, this one actually would be in color. But these daily ones, the Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, those would have actually stayed in black and white. Only the Sunday ones were kept in color. Now, if they're online, what's really cool is they can, the artists and writers can keep all of it in color because it's a lot faster to do just for a computer these days. Now, what I'm going to have you guys do is I need you to come up with at least 4 frames, okay? Frames, let me give you an example here. I have some paper examples of different sheets. Okay. This one is a 3-frame project. This is kind of typical for newspapers. We actually are going to go with 4 because 4 actually makes it easier to tell the story. So if you want to do 4 boxes that are the same, that would be okay. So the way you do that would be you fold your paper into 4 boxes. And you would do 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the easiest way to do if you just want to do 4 boxes. Now, the trick is, what do you want to do if the boxes that you need are a little bit odd size? So let's go back to my comic strip book here. See if I can find that page again. Okay, here's a good example. You can see that this one piece has a ton of text. That's not normal, to be honest. But it takes up a big space, and then they have just one other frame. Versus this one now has 6 frames, and this one has 4. So it can be broken down into different ways depending on what you need. So I'm going to give you 2 other examples here. Like here, if you wanted to break it up your 4 and do something like this so they're a little bit off, that would be okay. Or here, maybe you need 5 frames, okay? Or you could actually have 6 frames. It kind of depends on what you want. I have one that I've already gone ahead and done ahead of time. And this is where I need you to get is I have done a storyboard. Okay, I didn't do a comic strip, I did a storyboard, and they look very, very similar, but there's no real words to my picture here. They're not having a conversation, they're not trying to tell a joke. A storyboard's more of, hey, this is what happens, this is the sequence of events for one simple thing. In my picture, I have 4 boxes, but my bottom box is really huge, okay? So I kept to my 4. I wanted it, the important thing of the goal to be more dramatic, so that's why I gave it a bigger box, so I had more room to put more information. Here, my first box is the ball coming in. He hits him in the head. Now he's kicking it past this person. She's running past. And then the actual kick, and then the goal. Okay? Now, I only want this in pencil for right now. This is our goal. And this is what I did for my paper. Is I took, this is where your ruler comes in handy. Where did I put my pencil? Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, so what I did was, I figured out, well, which is my paper gonna work better? Would my boxes look better going this way on my paper, or would they look better going like this? I decided it would be better because I could get more strips going like that. Then I took my ruler, and it doesn't even have to be a ruler. It could be, I just need something straight. And then I figured out, well, what do I want my boxes to be? So I just went in and drew the top of my boxes. Now, you can see where there might be not enough space, so I make one a little bit longer. And then I'll draw them straight down. I didn't want any to go past the halfway mark. They should be kind of close. And again, I'm not really measuring anything. I'm just using it as a nice straight edge to make sure it looks nice. And then maybe in this one, instead of, I got 3 on the top, but maybe I just want 2, so I need 5 frames this time. What I would do is kind of plan out your boxes real fast. So you need to do that. In mine here, I have only 4 boxes. One happens to be really huge. This one happens to be 5 boxes, and they're just different sizes. And could I make them all the same size? Yeah, you can. It depends on what your story needs. I can't say specifically to you guys. Little parts of the project can go outside the line. So in this specific one, the word goal and its star pattern goes outside of the box, the comic strip area. That is okay. Generally, you want to avoid that for just main regular things, but things that make things a bit more exciting, then you do let it go outside the box a little bit. But like here, there's no reason for his feet to go outside the box. Okay? And for here, I don't need the person going outside the box. And if you notice, for right now, I have kept my lines available to me so I can see how they're supposed to be moving. I'm gonna go back in later on and deal with that. But for this week's project, I need you to lay out how you want your stories, your comic strip or your storyboard, and then I need you to draw it out in pencil. Do not worry about shading unless you need, like me for this soccer ball, I really did need the shading to figure out how I wanted the soccer ball to look. But try to avoid shading in general because we will be coloring these in, but I don't want to deal with that today. I want us focused on making our boxes, figuring out what you want. Does yours have to look exactly like mine? Absolutely not. Like I said, you could have 4 boxes. If you think you can get it in 4, you could draw 4. And then I would draw 2 more of those exactly on the bottom. Okay? If you need 6 boxes, then draw 6 boxes, or any combination. So I would keep it anywhere from 4 to 6 boxes. If you are needing more than that, you will have to end up taking 2 pictures because I don't want more than 6 boxes on the front. And then if you need more, you can flip your paper over to the back side and keep going. But I want to kind of limit it to, if we can, fitting on the front page of the paper. It just makes your life a little bit easier for taking pictures, and it keeps your story from getting way too long. Okay, you want to keep it kind of simple. Can you divide up the top part into maybe 2 boxes on top and 3 on the bottom? Absolutely. Maybe you need 1 big one on top and then 3 on the bottom. It depends on what's going on. Remember, somewhere between 4 and 6 boxes If there's a specific need, please email me and let me know, and we can try to work around it. But let's get to there. Draw it out. Remember, leave your lines in place just so we have adjustments, and then take a photo of it, upload it to Google Classroom. Remember, we're looking for a sketched out version, something like this, and then I will see you next week.